Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined for the second half of this show by Eduardo Rodriguez, the Director of Policy and Planning in the City of Elizabeth. Director, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mayor, for having me.
So you've been on Director now. Tell us a little about it. A couple of years, right?
My 2 years will be coming up in April 1st. It's been a very...
It was a joke.
What? Yes,
April
exactly.
Fool's Day, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's been an exciting time. There's been so much economic development here in the city in the past 2 years, so I really feel like I came in at the right time.
So, Director, tell us about how important it is to attract new business and projects to our municipality.
I think it's extremely important. First and foremost, I don't think I would have a job if there wasn't any new businesses or projects coming in. But second, it is very beneficial for the residents and the businesses getting new projects, getting new businesses in, and it also adds more ratables to the city also.
So, Director, in your efforts, you go out and meet with a lot of these folks too, or they come here and they knock on the door. We had Mario Rodriguez on the first half. Tell us the difference between what you do and what EDC does.
EDC does. I think EDC more is on the front lines. I think they're basically the weeding out process. After that, I think I like to say EDC holds their hand and brings them over to City Hall once they have some ducks in a row and now more conceptual plans to come to the city over here. From there, the EDC also will help with state and actually county funding. We're basically the last step before they finish the project off. So we basically we'll discuss everything, finalize the details of the actual project before they go before the planning and or zoning board.
Now, economic development is important, and in the city of Elizabeth, a lot of people don't know this, but we now have one of the Amazon new warehouses located in the city of Elizabeth with a few 100,000 square feet of Amazon goods, right?
That's correct. It's approximately 400,000 square feet. It's you can see it off of the New Jersey Turnpike. It's on Sullivan Road, which I believe is behind Dowd Avenue. So along with the warehouse, there are jobs that were created there also.
That was a warehouse, a brand new warehouse that sat vacant until they found the right tenant.
That's correct. I think it sat vacant for 2+ years.
And Amazon moved in?
Yes, in 2015.
So they have the whole place?
Yes.
Okay.
The whole warehouse.
So my wife can get stuff quicker now.
My wife is expecting the drones to go there, pick up the stuff, so now I'll be getting more emails, I feel like.
So the drones can actually pick it up there and deliver it to your door.
Exactly.
Well, that should be an interesting process, huh?
Yes.
The Amazon located in our city, how many jobs do you know? We've created 100 to somewhere around there?
I think a lot of the warehouse is automated, but I believe it's anywhere from 30 to 50 jobs that were created there.
Okay. And the Midtown project, you and I have worked on this for a long time. I've worked on it before you even joined the city. It's a difficult one because of the infrastructure, but we're getting closer. Can you tell us about how we are in Midtown and what's planned for the location and the status of the projects?
Definitely. Right when I started here, a couple months before I started, we did designate a joint venture of the Faros Group out of Boston and Moss Construction to be the developer there on the site. They just got their plans in order, and they did submit some preliminary drawings to the planning board for two parcels, one on 190 Union Avenue and the other on 290 Union Avenue. They'll have about 250 rental units, 10,000 square feet of retail space, and the one on 190 Union Avenue will have a hotel, about a 100-unit hotel also there. There'll be parking underneath and a pool in the middle also, so it's really very nice.
So the hotel is going to be tell us about that. It's a creative design. The hotel is going to be part of the apartment building, correct?
That's correct, yes. It's unit space. They have one wing that will be a lot of rooms there, but it'll be dispersed out through the actual building also, the actual hotel rooms. It will have a center lobby, its own actually entrance, but the units will be dispersed among the actual building.
And tell us about the hopes for this. We've never gotten a project through preliminary site plan approval, so it's important to the city that we develop the Midtown.
That's correct,
and
yes.
Everything else.
Yes, and I mean, along with that project, we have one that will start construction this year, a 100-unit residential building on West Jersey. And then we just put an RFP out for Parcel F, which is a bit southwest of 190 Union Avenue, 57 to 777 Murray Street, and we're looking there to do 70 to 100 units. So it's the next 2 to 3 years that Midtown will be transformed.
So finding a place to live that's close to mass transit is always a challenge, especially one with amenities. What do these projects do in creating more housing within our neighborhoods, and where in the city is it going to take place besides Midtown?
Sure. We just completed a project on the North Elizabeth train station. It's a 100-unit market rate apartment building there. We also have over on South Park Street some warehouse and brand new 2-family homes that we'll be doing there. We also have 2 applications that were approved in 2007-8 that have picked up, and we'll start construction this year also on North Broad Street, which is a 40-unit, and Westminster Avenue, which is another 35-unit building. And the last one is on South Broad Street and South Street, and that's that received approval. It's about an 82-unit building there also. So there's a lot of housing coming on board.
Because Elizabeth is
the
an
demand
ideal
is
location,
there.
right?
Exactly, yes. With 2 train stations, there's not many cities or areas here in Jersey that do have 2 train stations that serve New York City, and there's 2 train lines that go through it. So it's in very high demand, and we also have the airport and the Seaport here.
Tell us about, at the end of last year, ground was broken. Mario mentioned this about the old New Jersey bus garage on the location on Division and Dowd. Can you share with our viewers what's going to be built there? And Mario talked about it a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of history on that. That really was a true public-private partnership over there. We received funds from the state, the county, and also the city, and we were able to leverage that with the actual developer to get that site going. It's a 25,000 square foot supermarket going in, which is Food Town. There's a Dollar General, turnkey laundry, and also extra Popeyes going there, also there. So it's again.
And I think they're in negotiations with a bank, or they're trying to.
Also, that's correct. Yes, and that was a site that was not abandoned, but underutilized for probably over 10 years. So it's really going to change that area too.
So this creates more choices for our residents, more services for our residents. Other projects that have been approved on creating opportunities for residents?
There's been a significant pickup in warehousing. There's the Pro Lodges was just approved for subdivision, and that's a $110 million warehouse that will be built there on Kapkowski Road, a little north of where the mall is, and that will bring in a total revenue about $1.5 to $2 million a year. There's a new warehouse going behind the Wawas next to Frigo's right off of Route 1 and 9 also. And we just completed the new City Grocer, which was the former Daffy Dance.
The first parcel you mentioned for some of our longer-term viewers is the old Allied Signal property. Okay. And that's, you don't know that, but
no, I didn't.
That was a big company out there that was torn down. They've done a lot of remediation on that property since then.
Okay.
Turn Landing is something you and I have spent an awful lot of time talking about. Turn Landing is the property just east of the mall, I guess, is the proper nautical direction, right?
Yes.
And location, proximity. There's interest there, but nothing solid. Talk about some of the interest that's going on, and then old friends come back to look at it, right?
But that is correct. It's a 25-acre lot, basically east of the mall there. There were some issues there historically in terms of unpaid taxes, bank financing. All those issues have actually been resolved, and you know I can say very proudly that at least we're in the marketing stages of that site, which I think honestly we probably hadn't thought was going to come for another year or two. The prior mall developer has expressed strong interest in that site there, and it's being actively marketed now for the first time. So
Herb Glimcher has come back.
That's correct.
And he's trying to put together a team to develop that site.
Yes, and he has a pretty decent track record here in the city.
So in January of 2015, as we all know, and I put it in my State of the City address, the Jersey Gardens Mall became a Simon Mall. And it continues to add new stores and services for our shoppers. Can you talk about the expansion that the Simons plan for that mall?
Yes, they purchased the mall for $1 billion, and I guess they really see the potential of the site there. They're going to expand it probably 400,000 to 500,000 square feet, which we've already had preliminary meetings with their engineering team and also the construction team at City Hall. They're looking to add new retailers, a lot of new restaurants, 2 parking structures, and a brand new state-of-the-art movie theater also there.
And it would be done in the end where the movie theater is, correct?
Correct, from where the movie theater is to the end of the ring road.
And so the restaurants and visitors, if we had 500,000 square feet, it's going to be substantial, and that's the need for the parking decks.
What do you call it? That's correct. Yeah, the mall, I believe, is 1 million square feet, so they'll be expanding about 40 to 50%.
So we talked about housing and services. Job creation is always an important question. How many jobs are going to be created for some of these projects that we've just talked about?
We have the Food Town and the Popeyes, that project, the new city grocers, the various warehouses there. We're probably estimating anywhere from 300 to 400 jobs, and those are full-time jobs. A lot of those have first source agreements with, as you mentioned before, Mario. Those are jobs that get funded predominantly with local people here from the city, and that excludes the construction jobs also for all these projects also, which could range in anywhere from 500 to 600 also.
So, Director, tell us about the Oakwood Plaza. Do you get involved in that a little bit?
Yes.
But we are moving in the right direction to tear down 2 more buildings.
Correct. We're actually, I'm glad to report, in the last phase is Parker's View. I believe those are going to be townhouse style new development there, but it is the last portion of Oakwood to actually finally get developed, and that site will be completed probably another 2 years.
And it'll help the residents of that neighborhood. I mean, that was a major problem for crime, but it's just decreased tremendously because of the work done there.
Absolutely, yes.
The last thing we'll talk about before we end the show is East Broad Street, which is probably a forgotten area, but with the train station, the new train station, and the corridor being extended to Chestnut Street, it creates opportunity on East Broad Street. Talk to us about some of the things that may happen over there.
That was one opportunity, I think, that's directly related to the train station getting the new upgrade and facelift. We're right now doing a study to make it an area of need of redevelopment, and we do have a redeveloper very interested in developing that site to probably 200 to 400 units with a lot of retail space right by the train station also.
But it's in the very early stages.
Correct. We're probably 2 to 4 years from there, but at least the ball is moving on that, which it's probably the first time in a long time.
Director, I want to thank you for taking the time to join us on the show this evening. I appreciate all of your work in economic development and bringing jobs and businesses to our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
For Director Eduardo Rodriguez of the Policy and Planning Department and Mr. Mario Rodriguez of Elizabeth Development Company, I'm Chris Bolwage, and we'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
Sometimes you learn by helping others learn.